Hello, 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 stamping friends. How is everybody today? I am Caron Bailey. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. I am the ATX Stampin' Lady. And guys, let me go ahead and thank you guys for joining me this evening here in the craft room. Thanks for joining me. It is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. And we're doing this a little bit out of sequence. Normally I do paper pumpkin kit assembly and alternatives. I normally do it on the last Friday of the month. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, there was a delay at, oh, my nails. Anyway, um, uh, there was a delay and I just got my kit last week, I think, or on Monday, I think is when it came in the mail. And so I am going through the process right now, and we are going to play with the April 2025 paper pumpkin kit. You guys, this kit is absolutely beautiful, and we're gonna go have so much fun. It might be a long time this evening because I do want to make sure I go through 3 alternatives with you guys this evening. So I'm gonna try to get these done. As usual, when I do paper pumpkin, I take the opportunity. I will make one of each of the cards as the designers have created them, and then I will go ahead and try to create, in this instance, at least 3 more designs. I have rated my template book, so I'm going to be creating from some templates. So let me just go ahead, you guys, and share this video to make sure that we have people that are joining us here this evening. Um, let's go. Copy. I think it's copied. So give me 1 second. Let me share. And then, excuse me. Then I'll come back and we can get started. Now, I'm going to try, I don't want to say I'm not going to talk a lot because, that's what I do is I talk sometimes. But I am going to go through the process of um, trying to get through the 3 originals as much as possible. That way, you guys we can get to the creative and the alternatives a little bit quicker in tonight's video. Okay, so here we go. As we all know, paper pumpkin kits, when we get them, comes obviously you have to be a paper pumpkin subscriber. I will put the link to subscribe to paper pumpkin in the description box. So if you are not already a subscriber of paper pumpkin, I would invite you to sign up and to become a paper pumpkin subscriber. You have the option when you subscribe to paper pumpkin to do it month to month, like I do. Sign up for a 3-month, 6-month, or an annual subscription. So you get your choice. So in this month's subscription, it's called the Inked Occasion. Inked Occasion is the paper pumpkin kit, and you get a block. Whenever you first sign up with paper pumpkin, you will get a block. Okay, comes with your initial paper pumpkin, and it comes with any of the kits that we create. Okay, or you purchase. This month's kit has a Berry Burst ink spot. Okay, let me go ahead and open this. Make sure I don't slice my fingers open. There we go. And comes with our stamp set. Now these stamp sets are exclusive to Paper Pumpkin Kit. You will not find them anywhere. How is this light? I'm using a different lighting today. Are you able to see clearly with this lighting? This is the lowest setting on this lighting, so I want to make sure that you guys are able to see. So this is what it looks like without any lights. This is what it looks like on that setting. And then let me do one more thing just to make sure. So, oops, oh, I'm making a mess over there. So here we have, this is the initial lighting that I have. So if you have any preference, if you can see, I don't know which one is better, but this is our lighting situation as we have it right now. Okay, so here's our stamp set for the April 25, 2025 inked occasions. Thinking of you, congratulations, hugs, and some little tiny sentiments there. It is a photopolymer set. In this kit, we are going to be able to create 9 cards. Is 9, 2, 4, 6, 9 cards. You guys, if nothing else, I absolutely adore this paper. Look at this. Is this not gorgeous paper? Look at the paper. I mean, if nothing else, this paper is absolutely divine. All right, so we also have in the kit our instruction sheet. Our instruction guide tells us exactly what we need to do for each of the cards. Card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. Tells you how to put all of the cards together. Okay, so let's go. All right, so card number 1, and I'm going to try to put everything aside here. This is for card number 3, card number 2, and card number 1. Okay, now what else are we going to need for card number 1? I try to put everything together. That way, I can move it out of the way, so we can have a little bit more time to create. So this one has hugs. So let's grab our laser cut sentiment hugs out of the kit. Right, that's one, and that's pretty much all. Let me see if there's the sentiment strips in here. Pardon my sniffling, you guys. The sky opened up and it rained a lot here in Austin, and it kicked up a lot of the pollens and all that stuff that's in the air, and let me tell you, I have been suffering the last couple of days. All right, so that's that one. So card number 2, we're going to need this piece right here. This is a beautiful piece. Again, all of this is laser cut. And this is going to go on number 2 right there. It's also going to have a thinking of you sentiment, or thinking. We got to find where that one is. It's in here somewhere. And this is why I just go through it, because when I first go through all of this with you guys, I don't look at anything. I don't look through anything. Alrighty. I'm missing that. I don't know where this one is. Hold on. Let's take a look and see. I'm looking for the section that tells you everything that's in the kit, right? I think that is this one right here. Thinking of you. Okay, so this is going to go with this one, and that's number 2. Number 3, we are going to use the congratulations one. That looks like a C right here, so this is congratulations. And we're also going to need the, we need a sentiment strip, one of the square ones. That's this one. And then lastly, we're going to need this piece right here. Okay, so we've got everything that we need to create the 3 cards as designed by the Stampin' Up designers. Here we go, this one. and then this one. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Let's put things away and get started. Let's put all of this aside. I'm going to put it back in the envelope. That way I don't misplace anything. And here we go. All right, card number 1. Very simple. Starts with this one. And as you can see, it tells us that we've got to stamp the 2 butterflies, 2 and 1. And I'm going to put both of these on a block, same block, right? One here and one on the other side. Okay. Then I'm just going to go ahead and condition them a little bit. And by conditioning, I'm just making them ready to stamp on. When they're stamped for the first time, try to get rid of some of that residual photopolymer that's on there. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's ink these up. And again, the ink spot being used today is Berry Burst. Let me do both of them. Clean that off. All right, so the first thing we've got to do, it tells us that this card is going to be a fold such as this one. So it's going to be a standard A2 size that is 4 1/4, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So it is going to be in a portrait position. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp our butterflies. Somewhere up here. Okay. It's always nice to have a piece of copy paper or some sort of paper that you can kind of clean your stamp off a little bit so that you don't have excess ink anywhere, everywhere. And then the next thing I'm going to do is we are going to, so we need to put some mini dimensionals because it tells us we need to pop this guy up. So let's grab our dimensionals and our take your pick tool. And let's get our mini dimensionals on here. One there. One is here. I don't even know how that second one came on top of that, but there you have it, my friend. I do not know how that got on there, but we are going to take it off. All right. One here. We're going to put one. I'm going to put one. See, I did it again. Why? Oh, what's going on here? One there. And then I'm going to cut this one in half. Probably going to end up, me personally, cutting many of them in half when I'm using this hugs, because for me and my dimensional use, I have to have more than what it's asking for, right? So there's one right there. And then I think, where'd it go? I don't really worry about dimensionals because they send so many in the paper pumpkin kit that there's always lots left over from the previous kits. So I go ahead and I use that. All right. And I think I'm going to put one more. Let's put this one on here. Put this up there. I don't think I have good balance. And that's what's important for me, is the balance. For me, when I adhere this sentiment on, or this, yeah, sentiment on the card, if I press anywhere on it, I just don't want to have a depression. You know, that empty, hollow feeling that you get sometimes. And then one more. I think we should be good with that. And I think up here. So it's my stepmother's birthday today. Called them early this morning to wish her a happy birthday. All right, so there we have that. And now all I'm going to do is kind of set this on here so I can just have a gauge as to where things are, so I know where to put my other butterfly, right? And literally, just like that. Okay. Now I can put this in place. I showed you guys, if you joined me on Monday, I started doing a series starting on Monday that I called Sketchy Monday. And what I'm doing with Sketchy Mondays is I am just going through my Pinterest board, from cards of projects that I see on Facebook or from other demonstrators, the layouts that I like, and I'm just going to create from them, kind of sort of on the fly. Not so much on the fly, but kind of sort of. um, so let's see what we got going on here. I think that's what we got. I'm trying to see the shape. There we go. That's how that is. All right, so let's put our butterflies back. Now I'm going to bring out another block, because those butterflies are used on all of the cards. And I know we don't sell, at Stampin' Up, we don't sell these blocks anymore. But when we have little sentiments like this, I think this was, I don't remember the name of what letter this block was. This was a, I covered it up. But I have so many of these because they are perfect for little tiny sentiments, just like this. I'm here for you. And I'm just going to stamp it off. I always check the sentiment to see what it looks like. All right, so let's go and try to make sure that everything is lined up. If I get my head in the shot, I'm so sorry. Here we go. And I probably did that crookedly. All right, so we've got, let's see. I think they did that. So we're going to put our 2 dimensions on that side. 1 and 2. And then I'm going to put some glue on this side right here. Okay, so here we go, and card number 1, that's not straight. Even I can see that. Card number 1 is complete. Guys, if you have gems, there was no gems that came in the set, in the kit. But if you wanted to, you can always add gems and bling, and I'm probably going to add gem. I'm probably going to do that. Um, but after, I probably am going to do it. Okay, so this is the first card that's done based upon the designer's um, the card. Y'all, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to cut this in half because I just cannot, absolutely cannot waste this. I can't. So it's just too pretty. So I'm going to cut it off. I'm sorry, I have to do that. Oops. Oops, 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 oops. And this should be 4 1/4. And I'm just going to trim it off. So now I have a piece of designer series paper that I can use. Okay? I just, in good conscience, I could not allow that to happen. I couldn't. As much as I didn't want to, I want to always be true to designers. I just could not, in that instance, allow that to happen. I couldn't. Did I not take the backing off of this? Oh, all right. And so all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add this guy right to the front of a piece of basic white cardstock. I guess you could say that's our first alternative, although I didn't mean it to be an alternative. I just could not allow that paper to go to waste. I couldn't. I just could not. Okay? All right, card number 1 is done. This is not going to go to waste. Card number 2, let's get moving on that one. All right, so here we have card number 2. And what this tells us is we're going to add dimensions to this card, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to add one here. Going to add one here. Add one here. And one more over here. Okay? That's what the instructions call for. All right? So, here's card base. We're probably going to end up doing the same thing with this one, you guys, just so you know. Because again, I'm not going to waste cardstock or beautiful paper, right? So, but we are going to make it the way the designers, and then we're going to alter it a little bit. So, what this is telling us to do is this is going to go a line right here, like so. And the reason I did this is because I want to make sure that I know where I'm placing my butterflies, right? Again, doesn't make any sense to stamp them and then have the way you, wherever you stamp them, you have to you covered it up, right? So this is going to go here. All right. And I make sure I clean it. And then put this back in place where it needs to be. And then this other one is going to go about right here. Right? I mean, you can move it out of the way once you have it so you don't have that distraction. But I'm going to put this guy right about there. Okay? And that's it. Now we're going to put the rest of this in place. Now before I do that, I think before I add the dimensional part, I guess I can put it in the other way. If you know anything about me, you'll know that I really am feeling that there's not enough dimensionals on here. You'll know that, right? All right. So let's go ahead and line this up. Okay. And I'm going to cut a sliver off of this guy. And I'm going to put him right on there. And there we go. Okay. So that's that. The last thing we're going to grab now is our sentiment. And this one is thinking of you. Right here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to line this guy up on the sentiment, the die cut piece, right? One, I want to make sure it fits how it's going to go on there. And then two, I'm just going to pick it up as is. Okay. So guys, we know that this can fit right on there, right? Because we just picked it up. So we should be fairly accurate when we're stamping it on there. Let's condition the stamp a little bit. And then almost ready. We're almost done with card number 2. Ready to start on card number 3. And then we get to have some fun. Not that this isn't fun. So our 2025-2026 annual catalog went live yesterday. Do you have the catalog already? Did you see any favorites that you just had to have? Oh, here we go. That's perfect. So as a demonstrator, we are able to pre-order from the annual catalog, but we're only able to pre-order some items. It's not, you don't have the run of the entire catalog. You're only able to pre-order some items. So just like the rest, all of our customers and everybody that patronizes Stampin' Up, on the 6th of the month when the full catalog went live, we were then able to order anything that was available that we wanted in the new catalog. All right, so the last thing we're going to do now is add our sentiment. I'll line that up here. One of these days I'm going to learn how to use a T ruler, you guys. Right? And there we go. There's our sentiment. Card number 2 is done. Again, I would put some gems on here, and I'm probably going to do that, but I wanted to make sure that I at least made the card the way the designer created the card. So this is going to be 4 1/4, and here's my clean cut. Second panel that I can use to create a card tonight. Let me trim that edge off a little bit. Yeah. Perfect. All right. I'm going to grab a piece of, and I just happen to have this laying around. This is a piece of peach pie. And the peach pie is from our 2024 to 2026 in color sets. Those are still live and active. So I'm going to put this on that. Oh, come on. Sometimes if you don't put your pin back in right away, it clogs for a little bit. So I do try to put the pin, and the pin has to be is it aluminum or stainless steel? I can't remember which one it is. So that it in and of itself does not get stuck in the nozzle. Okay. All right, so card number 2 is done. Except that what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of basic white to put in here. It's light enough that you could write on the inside, but I'm going to put some white on here. So card number 2 is done. And we're going to get started on the 3rd card. And the 3rd card is this one, our congratulations card, right? So this is all, oops, here we go. We're going to do the same things, guys. We are going to trim this down. This is just too pretty to waste again. All right. This is going to be a fold such as this. All right, let me make sure. We got 2 portrait style and 1 portrait style and 2 horizontal landscape style cards. So we're going to end up cutting that as well. Excuse me. so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our Thinking of You away. Clean this off. Okay. I'm trying to be a neater stamper, and in order to do that, for me, I have to put things away as I use them. Otherwise, I mean, it'll kind of hang out there, and then I'd be like, where does this go again? What's missing from here? All right, so this is our congratulations stamp. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to lay this out on here. And the other thing about laying it out on the die cut strip is that it kind of doesn't really matter. When I say it doesn't matter, right? When you pick it up with that block, it's going to be as aligned as it needs to be because you've already kind of felt it out on the die cut, right? So here we have this. Make sure we go ahead and condition our stamp. Always got to condition it, especially photopolymer. You don't have to do that so much for red rubber, but definitely the photopolymer, you've got to take some of the whatever could be there, you got to take that off. All right. Aren't they beautiful, Sandy? I think I love this kit, and if there is a refill that is available, I definitely will get this. Now, the way that I'm doing this is, even though the card kit says 9 cards, you guys, you can already see that I would have more than 9 cards. 9 cards that I can make, because if each one of these is already 2 cards, so technically if I use the other side, I could have already made 6 cards just by using one set of card stocks the way they had it there. And I just may still do that. I just may still do that because my alternative cards, I had not really planned on using any of the outside of the stamp sets. I hadn't really planned on using any of the other ephemera or the die cut pieces. Here we go. There's a You Are Amazing. So if you are, again, using one of the tips that I use sometimes is if I already have a die cut piece, I will generally pick it up on that piece, because as you can see, if I use it, it's already crooked on the block because that's how I put it on there, right? But if you already have it aligned on the cardstock or the die cut that you're using, once you pick it up, it should be how you want it because you've taken that time to lay it out on your die cut piece, right? And it is where and how you want it to be. So when you pick it up with that block, you should have absolutely no issues at that point, okay? Now this is this is annoying me here. I'm trying to find my reversible tweezers. Where did I put them? There we go. Gotta have all the tools and gadgets. You don't have to, but I do. Right? Because once you have them, look at that. Look at how much easier that was, right? Because I used a tool and gadget. All right, I'm just going to test it out again. Good. All right, so we're almost done with most of our stamping. If you see my head, I do apologize. I'm trying to get in here and hope it's straight. Perfect. I'm off. I'm going to turn it over. It's a beautiful thing about cardstock. There's two sides to every piece of cardstock, right? It's always two sides. All right, I'm going to take this out of frame for a second because I do have to get, I do need to be right over it. Let's go. That's perfect. All right, so here we go. So what this tells me is, if I could find my stuff. Hmm. I had my gold. I know I took it. I know I cut it or pulled it off. I thought I grabbed it here. It's not there. It's not there. All right, I must have misplaced it because I don't see it. All right, so we're going to grab another piece instead of wasting time. And of course, as soon as I take the other one out, I'll find the other one. Because that's just how my life goes. Right? All right. So the only thing we need to do with this is that it's going to be with some dimensional. Um, that seems to have disappeared as well. Oh, there it is. So let's put our dimensionals where we are supposed to put them. We need one in the center of this. I'm going to put two, right? We need three on this. Oh, one, two, and three. But I'm going to put more because that's just how I roll. And then it says we need to put, that's the good side, one on each end. Now sometimes you do really have to pay attention to what the instructions are telling you, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so before I do anything else is I'm going to lay this out, right, to see how they want this to be. This is going to go over here like so. That's why. You see how I put all of those dimensions there? This is supposed to go over this guy. So I got to pull them off. Yeah. That's why sometimes it pays to pay attention, sometimes, to how the designer has laid them out. Okay? So this is going to go about here, I think. Yes? And so, let's get our butterflies stamped out. We can see our single butterfly is up here. About here. Right? And then, let's clean this off because we don't want any accidents. And then our double is going to be, it's going to be about here, right? Like so. All right, so let's get the rest of this together and then we can get started on our other two cards, our remaining two cards. So we've got this that we're going to put about right here. It's more up and down like that. Then we've got our sentiment, our main sentiment that we're going to put here across like so. Like that. And then our You Are Amazing is going to go right here. Like that. Okay? Perfect. Guys, card just like that, card number 3 is done. And again, and this works out perfect because we can use these 3, oops, in our designs. Make this 4 1/4 right there. Trim it off. And then let me grab this little bit right here. I don't need a whole big chunk cut off. All right. Grab another piece of basic white cardstock. And we're going to add that to here. And then our card is done. All right, almost done. I am pleased as punch with these 3 cards. I love this designer paper. Actually, not even designer paper, but that's what it's going to turn into for us, is designer paper. And we are going to use it ugh, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All righty. So before we move on, let's just bring in the 3 cards the way the designers almost modified made the card. So here they are. And I'm going to create 3 alternatives now using not so much the ephemera items, but most of the other papers that we have. Okay? All right. All righty. So the first card we're going to make today is kind of very simple. It's going to be a little bit of a fun fold. So our template is a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 by 7.5, and we're going to score it at 3 1/4, which is what we have here. And we're going to use, we can use that one, or we can use that one. I think we're going to use this one. Let's use this one, right? And so our designer series paper is going to be, we need one piece that is 3 inches by 5. I didn't write it on that one. Huh. And then this is 1 inch, right? That's an inch right there. So we're going to need a piece that is 3 inches by 5. Actually, it all needs to be 5. So let's trim, this is 5.5, right? So if we go to 5.25 from one to one end, and then to 5 on the other end, we'll have taken equal portions from each of the sides. So this one's going to be 3 inches. This is 3 inches by 5. And then I'm going to grab a piece of, let's go with white. So we're going to need one that's 4 by 5.25. So this is going to be 3.25 by 5.25. We're going to use that mat on this, like so. And put that here. It's too bit wide. Why did that not work? Let's go 3 1/8. I mean, that's what I wrote on my sheet, so I'm not quite sure why I didn't do what I wrote on my sheet. So this is 3 3 1/8 by 5.25. This is going to be 1 inch. Make sure it's exactly 1 inch. But I'm going to grab a piece that is 4 by 5.25. Actually, the ones I have, they are already cut to 4.25 by 5.5. So I do just need to trim them so that they are 4 by 5.25. Perfect. Okay, so what I am going to do now is I'm going to take this 1 inch piece right here, and I'm going to fix this right so I have maybe about 1/8 of an inch border on that side. Okay. There we go. And then this is going to go on the inside of our card. But before I do that, let's see, what do I have? What stamp sets do I have laying around out here? Okay, let's use this. Blooming Phrases. And we're going to stamp that on the inside, something on the inside. Because we always got to have something on the inside of our card, right? I'm going to do that and some butterflies. Right? Now That's one. Okay, and then we're going to add this to the inside of our card. Like so. Okay, have that. Then we're going to add this to the front of our card. I used the card base is in Petunia Pop, which again is one of the 2024 to 2026 in colors. Gonna add this guy right on here, like so. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Gonna add some butterflies. Add them right here. Let's have them going this way. Okay. And then all we're going to need now is we're going to need our sentiment. And I'm going to grab that Thinking of You again on some white cardstock. Sorry. The later it gets, the more my sinuses start, or my allergies start acting up. I'm sorry. Okay. Grab a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to keep this fairly simple. Ooh. Yeah. Grab that. And then I'm going to trim this down just a bit. Okay. So this is going to be about an inch, about an inch and 1 3/8 of an inch, maybe. Probably going to try to trim some down from the other side. So I'm probably going to make it 1.5 inches. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. maybe 1.25 inches, I mean, sorry. All right, we're going to leave it like that. Oh, we're going to round the corners. Reach in for our little corner rounder. Oops, didn't go all the way in. Why are you not going all the way in there, my friend? There we go, rounded. Let's round this one again because it did not. Okay. Now I'm going to add that, and then let me grab, make sure I'm putting it on the right side. So I'm going to put some sticky tape, double-sided tape, right here. And I'm just going to use it to help me add some of this gold trim to this cardstock, to this sentiment. My hair is in there. All right, almost done with our fourth card and our, I guess this is our real alternatives, right? Because we modified the originals, and we only modified them by cutting them in half, right? And you can see that I'm just using that other side to create these cards, right? That's all I'm doing. And then I'm going to take this piece of gold trim and just kind of layer it on right here, like so, right across, right? So we can have, yep, a little bit sticking out there, some sticking out up there, like that. Add a little bit of, although we have the kintsugi going on up there. And then I got to make sure that I'm going to now only add dimensions to one side of this cardstock, right? Because we only need one side, because if we put it all over, what will we end up doing? We'll seal the card shut, right? And we don't want to do that. So keeping in mind that we don't want to seal the card shut, we are going to make sure that this doesn't go any further than there. Okay? Guys, like I said, this part is, make sure this is lined up somewhere so I can be relatively uh, even. There we go. Perfect. Our first alternative card is complete. Look at that. That is so cute and it's so simple. And that's our fourth card. Now, ha ha ha. Next card. All right. So here's our sample and our templates that we're going to work with, right? So this is a card we're going to create today, right? And I'm going to be using Summer Splash and Peach Pie for our card. All right, so what are we going to do with this one? Let's see. We've got this, and I think this has more of the peach pie, so we're going to have to use this one. So our DSP was 3 3/4. It's a 3 3/4 square. Guys, you can make this square any size you choose to. I matted it on a piece of 4 by 5 1/4. So you really can't go anything more than 3 7/8, for example, because especially if you're gonna mat it. Okay. So we're gonna trim this and we're gonna cut this. If we do this at, let's see what 3 3/4 is gonna look like. What are we gonna get out of that? So 3 3/4 is gonna take us here. And then if we trim it, okay, I think that'll be fine. 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then we're going to trim this on the diagonal, make sure both points are in the cutting track. And there we go, right? And then I said we were going to mat this. It's our piece of cardstock. This is 4 by 5, 4-inch square. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to trim it point to point. Right? And then we're just going to add this like that, this like that. Oops. So tomorrow, Thursday is our chat and caddy in the craft room. And in chat and caddy, we pick an item in the catalog and we'll case the catalog. Now we have a new catalog that we will be casing. And so, yes, that catalog is the one that just went live on the 26th. I'm sorry, the 6th of May. So we're going to case the catalog. I know you may not have any, but as a demonstrator, we were able to pre-order some items. And so I'm just going to start going through the catalog and for stuff that I already have on hand and going through the catalog with you. All right, so this is what we have here, right? And then we're going to put this on here. Now I need to put some butterflies on here. Okay, and then we're going to attach this to this. I got a lot of birthdays in May. Oh my gosh, I just took stock of everything. In my family, ooh, I think what there's at least 5 or 6 in rapid succession. So April is my mom, my sister, and my best friend. Um, May is my stepmother, my bonus mom. I don't want to call her step. She's my bonus mom. Um, my uh, my nephew, one of them anyway. My dad, my brother, my brother's mother-in-law. Yes, that's how many birthdays we have coming up. Okay, so this is what this is looking like thus far, right? You see how we have our template and how that is? Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is this is going to go straight over here like that. Okay, so we've got to design this piece, all right? Let's see. I think, let's put the thinking of you away. I'm probably going to use hello. And here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use, um, hmm, all right, so here's what I want to do. Let me grab, sometimes when you think out part of what you're doing, but not the rest. So let's grab we're going back to our Blooming Phrases stamp set. And I'm going to use this. And there's some peach pie on there. So I'm going to use that in peach pie. Right, and I'm going to 1, 2, and 3. Right. What else is in there? I see that's probably, I'm going to do fresh freesia, right? I'm going to do, these in fresh freesia. Okay. So I'm going to put some, how about we do one here? And then one, um, one here. Okay. And then I'm going to grab one of these stems on here. Doesn't matter which one, really. Doesn't really matter which one you grab, right? Because I really only want the stem part. And I'm going to make sure as much as possible only the stem is on my block. Okay. I'm going to grab me a little bit of, I'm going to do, even though I'm going to do the Shy Shamrock just because it's the color I'm using, but it's not normally what I would use for stems, but it is the colors in the, um, it's the colors in the paper. So that's why I'm doing that, right? And then I'm going to line this up like that. Get that stem on there. Get that stem on there. And I'm not seeing straight, right? I'm not my head's not right over it, so I really, I'm kind of guessing here. I'm hoping it's right. Right? Make sure that one goes about there. And we're going to try to make this one kind of curve out a little bit. Like that. All right. That's it. Put this back so I don't forget where things come from. And then grab our leaves right here. Right. Make sure I put that back on there. And then I'm just going to put some leaves right on these stems. And just like that, we are creating our little flower garden, right? Let me put this one over here, and then this one goes there. Perfect. All right, last but not least, I'm going to grab, I want to tap off a lot of it. Just want to give it a little bit of color down here. Just a little bit. Okay. And then we grabbed our hello. Oh, our hugs. I'm sorry. This was hugs. And I'm going to put this guy right there. And you guys know that I am famous for embellishing, right? So, or embossing, I should say. I'm just going to leave it at hugs. Okay? I was going to put one of the smaller sentiments on there, but I'm just going to leave it at hugs. We're going to let the heat gun get a little warm. And then I'm going to chase my powder. Perfect. Now, that part's done. So here you have some options. You can leave it squared off like this. You can round the corners. Whatever you want to do. I'm going to round my corners. Right? And I'm going to round my corners on both. I wonder what this one looks like. Hold on. I always try things out. Let's see what this one's going to give me. Okay. Let's go with that one. So a little bit of a narrower rounded corner. Okay. All right. Grab my Wink of Stella. Everything's falling apart on me here, y'all. And I'm going to add just a little bit of bling to my flowers. Make them shine and sparkle. But you know what we didn't add, right? We didn't add any butterflies here. And we got to add some butterflies in our garden. Got to have butterflies in our garden, y'all. And butterflies. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm going to add some adhesive. Now, you can add dimensionals if you'd like to. I don't think I am on this one. I think I'm going to keep it just as is. Right? So, you have your options. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to line this up like like so. Okay. If you wanted to, you could add adhesive dimensionals on this part to make it. I will do that. I have these scraps here. Let's use them. When you've got scraps, you gotta use them, right? When I use adhesive foam sheets and I cut them, um, and I have all the excess and the remnants, I just definitely make it a point to I save them. I save it all, and I reuse them. Yeah, absolutely. Most paper crafters, I tell you, will tell you there's no such thing as waste. We are closet hoarders, all of us, most of us, because we're not getting rid of anything because there just may very well be a use for it somewhere, somehow, sometime, and that's what we're going to use. So, oops. You can use your take your pick tool if you got nails like I do sometimes. Sometimes you can use your nails. Take your pick tool is, to me, is a better tool. It gets it a little bit faster, a little bit easier. All right, and so now I'm going to turn this to the side. The reason I do that is to try to make sure if I have at least the long side, if I have one side somewhat straight and even, then it should work out that it's straight and even on the other side. It should work out that way. Doesn't always when your name is Caron, but it should. I just try to make sure. Oh no. See? Here we go again. A little bit more of a border. Like that, and there we go. There we go. All right, guys, that is our second um, alternative card. Let's just take a minute to kind of clear this away. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut a piece of basic white that's going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Mm, Let me set this aside. Make that 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm just going to cut a piece that's maybe a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. That's your call, but I'm gonna do a 1/2 inch. And I'm just gonna take this, put this on the inside, like so. Because we try not to do naked envelopes, right? Or naked insides, right? Some kind of something we got to put on the inside of our cards. Yes. And if you've already got a little bit of scrap, why not just decorate the inside with a little piece of the scrap? Why not? All right. Now let's just go ahead and add this to the inside of our card. And be done with card number, what is this, number 5? Yes. On the inside, like so. And our card is done. All right, so our card was inspired by this layout. And I think we did pretty good with it, right? All right, so let's clean up a little bit and get ready for our next project and last project for the evening. Guys, if you don't forget to subscribe. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you join me regularly as I create for you. And also to like and share this video. Liking, sharing, and interacting with me definitely gives the analytics gods, just gives more people a chance, an opportunity to find me, and also to be able to join me in this process. All right, so this is card base that is 8-2, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of basic black that is 4 by 5.25. I might trim this down. And I'm going to trim remember this piece? And this is going to be 3.75 by 5, I think. Yes. I love my Stampin' Up! Trimmer, but I also love a guillotine trimmer. So this is going to be 3.75 by 5. Right? So if I trim a piece of 3.75 by 5, if I cut 3 strips, that's 1.25, I should have even strips of 3 strips that are 1.25 by 5. 1, right? If I did my math right. If not, I just messed this up. But that's okay. 2, and I do have 3, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these 3 strips, and I'm going to put them right on this piece that's 4 by 5.25, like so, right? You following? All right, so let's do that. And in order to do that, I'm going to make sure that I do my end pieces first. Because if I get them lined up right, then I just kind of need to slide the centerpiece in, right? All right. So I'm wanting to make sure that I have maybe about a 1/16 of an inch of a border, right, on all sides. All right. That's about where I'm going right there. I'm thinking this is going to be here. right? I'm going to turn this, shift this, and then I'm going to put this right there as well. Now, I didn't do a lot of fancy anything on here. You could. I'm just showing you very simple designs, right? Very simple designs. And I am so going to learn how to use a T-ruler, because that would definitely help me line these things up a lot better, right? All right, let's slide you in there like that, and like that, and there we go. So now that that's done, oh, I want to play with that. Oh, I want to play with that. Guys, I don't know, I saw these on, so I'm going to use them. I saw these little strips, these little gold strips. I'm going to use them. This is the first time that I'm going to use them. I was up watching YouTube late one night and I saw them. Of course, watching YouTube late at night is is it can be a good thing, right? You see all these gorgeous things that you can find when you watch YouTube late at night, right? I'm going to put this one back because it's not going to be long enough to finish out. So I'm going to put this back on here. Right? I'm going to reuse it. Now, remember in the paper there was gold strips running through it, right? So that's why I thought about using this on this project right here. I'm going to love these. Absolutely, I'm going to fall in love with these things. Absolutely. I mean, they just add a touch of, but you know what else they remind me of, right? We have a suite in our new catalog that is the Kintsugi uh, suite collection. And look at that. Doesn't this look gorgeous? Just by adding that little strips. Now you remember in the other pieces of cardstock there, oh, I should have done that there. I didn't think about that. Oh, all right, so here we have this. So now I'm going to create a sentiment. Let's see, am I going to be thinking of you again? Nope. Um, hmm. Let me see. What other things do I have over here that's sitting over here already? I don't have anything. Okay, so we're just gonna have to make do. So I think it might be a thinking of you again. No, I don't really want to do that. Hold on, you guys. think I'm going to have to go with Thinking of You again. Yeah. So this is definitely a Thinking of You bundle or gift set, right? That we created. But that's okay. Can always drop a hey, I was just thinking of you, right? To anybody. I think I'm gonna do, I don't want to do blue. Do I want to do black? Yeah, let's just, no, I'm gonna go with the petunia pop. I know, I know, I know. I thought out the card, um, and I'm really not paying attention on how I do this one because I am gonna fussy cut this. I am definitely gonna fussy cut this. And I am sorry. Y'all know when I'm fussy cutting, sometimes I don't talk a lot just because I gotta kind of sort of pay attention here. So if you do have the new catalog, what are you thinking? Do you have any favorites so far? Anything that just like jumped out at you from the very beginning that you went back and said, "Oh my gosh, this is the first thing I've got to order when I can order anything." What's your favorite? Just leave me a comment and let me know what's your favorite item. If you have more than one, you can tell me that in the current catalog. Now, don't forget also the online exclusives have been updated as well. So there's a lot of good stuff that went live yesterday. New online exclusive products, new catalog products, new kits went out. So lots and lots for you to go out and take a look at, okay? Lots for you to look at. And don't forget, there's still stuff on the last chance list, right? What's our last chance items? Our last chance items are those that are retiring, those that are, discontinued, what have you. Then they will be in what it used to be our clearance rack, but it's now our last chance items. And if they're on that, it's while supplies last. So if there's anything on that list that you see that you're interested in, don't delay on it, okay? I know even some of the demonstrators would be like, oh, I was thinking about it. And, it may not be popular at the time, but somewhere along the line, this item that nobody, people didn't really appreciate, some demonstrator, went ahead and did some project with it, and oh my God, it just takes off. And then you can't get it at all because it's done, and once it's gone, it's gone. Okay, so just saying, I have learned as a demonstrator and as a customer, if there's something that I see that I want and it's in my budget, I will go get it the minute I see it, because there's absolutely no guarantee that it'll be there the next time I go look. So, all right, so this is what we're going to put here, but I do need to mat it. And all for me, what that looks like is simply uh, oh, I could have done that too. Right? All I'm gonna do is put it right on here. And then I'm just gonna fussy cut this again. The thing about fussy cutting really is trying not to have too much excess. Alrighty, guys, so we have spent about almost 2 hours tonight um, playing with the April Paper Pumpkin Kit. You can no longer, you cannot get this kit anymore unless you, I don't think, the last time I checked, there was not a refill kit available for it. So it will not be, it has not been available, so you can keep checking, but kits and refills are only available to subscribers. If you are not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you would like to be a subscriber, check out the link that I will put in the description box, and consider becoming a subscriber. Being a subscriber at like I said, the last Friday of every month, I host a kit together on Zoom, where if you have the kit, we get together and we create them. Of course, that is also shared on Zoom or on YouTube. So you will get to be a YouTube star. There we go. All right, so there's something else I want to do. I know exactly what that something else is. That's fresh freesia. I'm going to go with that one. And all I want on here is maybe about a 1-inch strip, maybe. Yep, 1-inch strip. And I'm going to take this 1-inch strip and I'm going to grab it, put it about right there. Right? And I'm going to, using my grid lines, line it up on both sides, like so. There we go. Now, you can bring it to the back like that, but I'm going to trim it off, okay? That's what I'm going to do. Not with these scissors, not with those snips. Okay? So I'm just going to snip this off right there. Snip this off right here. And I feel the need to check to make sure. See, and good thing I checked that I have adhesive. And then I'm just going to stamp, I'm going to put this on dimensionals. Which I never know where I put them back. Do you guys know where I put them? I know you won't know where I put them, but I have to ask somebody if they know where I put them. And you guys are watching me tonight, so I'm asking you, do you know where I put them? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? Then we're going to align this guy and put him right here. Okay. Then, before I move too far along, what do we need? We need butterflies. And we're going to put some butterflies here. Ugh, I want to put them here, but we're going to put some here. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to stamp off, put 2 here. Second generation stamp. Probably should have put those down there, right? I really am feeling the need to put dimensions on this, so I'm going to. And I do say need. I do say need. And then when I'm done, I've got to go clean this up. Because I do try, of course I'm coming live for you guys tomorrow. So I got to make sure, because I got to go to work in the morning. So I have to make sure that when I get home from work, regardless of what time it is, I'll have what I need. Of course, I don't know what stamp set I'm going to use either, so that generally tends to present issues, right? Oh, yeah. Most of my ideas of what it is I'm going to work on, I derive when I'm at work, okay? I do. On my lunch or on my breaks, I'll sit and I'll go through the catalog, or I'll sit and I'll go through, watch a couple of YouTube videos, or whatever it is I'll do, Pinterest, and I'll see some stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. God help me if I don't get home on time. There's ridiculous traffic. So then I never go live on time because I never decide what I want to do early enough. All right, you guys, that's it for us tonight. Let me bring all of our parts and our pieces in. This is from the April 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit. I'm here, what is it called? Inked Occasions. These are the 3 items that were designed. And then here is the 3 alternative cards that we made this evening as well. Okay, and if you realize, we only used 3 pieces of 3 pieces from the kit, right? So literally we've created 6 cards already, and we have 6 more bases that we can go ahead and create, or a ton more cards. So I may go ahead and continue to create. So this is the projects that we've created this evening. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, because I know I enjoyed spending time with you. And as always, if you do need to reach me for any reason at all, please don't hesitate. Here's my contact information. If you're interested in becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to have you join my team. And guys, please don't forget to show me a little bit of love and like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. On that note, you guys, thanks for joining me again this evening. I am Caron Bailey, your ATX stamping lady. Have a pleasant evening and happy stamping.